Good day, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss all about web platforms. Okay, so what is a CMS platform? A CMS platform is a piece of software that allows you to easily manage content and create a website. Normally, web pages are written in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS programming languages. If you were to build a website without a CMS platform, then you would need to learn these languages and write a lot of code. CMS platforms solve this problem by allowing you to make a website without writing code or learning programming. Unless, of course, you're looking for a developer-friendly CMS, which means you already know how to code. How to choose the best CMS platform for your website. There are lots of different CMS platforms out there. So, which one should you pick? Before we jump to our CMS platform comparison, here is what you should look for in a good CMS. First, ease of use. You want a CMS that makes it easy for you to create and edit content. This often means having a drag and drop interface, so you can add different elements on your pages. It should be quick and straightforward for you to make changes to the content on your site after publishing it. Then second, we have design options. Your CMS software should offer you plenty of website design templates to choose from. It should also allow you to easily customize those designs to your own requirements. Then next is data portability. A great CMS platform should have tools for you to easily export your data and move it elsewhere. For instance, you may later decide to choose a different platform or a different hosting company. Data portability makes it easier for you to move around with complete freedom. Then we have extensions and add-ons. Not all websites are the same. This is why it is impossible for any CMS platform to come with all the features that would fulfill requirements for every website. Extensions and add-ons fix that problem. These are separate software that you can just install on your CMS software to extend its features and add new ones when needed. Think of them as apps for your CMS platform. Then we have here help and support options. Although CMS platforms aim to make building a website as straightforward as possible, you still might have some questions. Find out what help and support is available if you get stuck. Some CMS providers will have a handful of facts and a customer service team that's painfully slow to respond. Others will have big supportive community rather that can help you any time of the day or night. Then lastly, how much does it cost? Some CMS platforms are completely free. Others charge a monthly fee. Even with free CMS platforms, you'll often need to pay for third-party extensions, designs, and web hosting services. Try to find out as much as you can about the pricing before you choose your CMS so you don't have any nasty surprises. With these things in mind, let's take a look at the best CMS platform to choose from. First, we have WordPress. So, WordPress is the number one choice for the best CMS platform. It's the world's most popular CMS software, and it powers around 35% of all websites on the internet. It's important to not confuse WordPress.org with WordPress.com. WordPress.org is a free open source CMS originally designed for blogging, but now it's used by all sorts of websites or online stores. WordPress.com is a blog hosting platform. So here's the pros of WordPress. Okay, so it offers you the flexibility and freedom to build any kind of websites. For example, online store, auction site, membership site, and etc. Next, it does not require any technical skills or coding knowledge. The WordPress block editor makes it really easy to create great looking pages on your site. You have complete freedom to make money online from your website in any way you want. Then, there are thousands of WordPress themes and plugins available, both paid and free. This let you add all sorts of useful extra to your site, like contact forms, photo galleries, and much more. Then lastly, WordPress is really well designed for search engine optimization. It's easy to create SEO friendly URLs, categories, and tags for your posts. You can also choose from plenty of SEO plugins to help you do more. Then we have the cons. You'll need to set up your hosting and domain name, and you'll be responsible for managing things like security and backups. Then next, because WordPress offers so many options and so much flexibility, it can sometimes feel a little daunting when you're getting started. This is why many beginners use drag and drop page builder plugins for WordPress. When we talk about the pricing, WordPress itself doesn't cost anything. However, you'll need a domain name around $9 to $15 per year, and a hosting account with a web host that can run WordPress, normally from $7.99 a month. And when it comes to the minimum hardware and software requirements, WordPress requires you to have a disk space of 1 gigabyte, web server Apache or database MySQL version 5.0.15 or greater, or any version of MariaDB. RAM 512 megabyte, then PHP version 7.3 or greater. And lastly, processor of 1.0 gigahertz. Then second on our list is Joomla. Okay, so Joomla is another popular free open source CMS platform that comes with lots of different templates and extensions. It's free to use, but you'll need hosting and a domain name. It was first released in 2005, so like WordPress, It's been going for years. Joomla is packed with features, and many web hosts offer a one-click installation. However, it's really an ideal CMS platform for developers and experienced website creators. So it's not such a good option for beginners. And for the pros of Joomla, Joomla gives you a lots of flexibility and plenty of options. It's a good choice if you're building something with complicated or bespoke website. Although Joomla is particularly useful for developers, you can still use it even if you don't want to ever touch a line of code. It's easy to edit your content. Like WordPress, Joomla is open source and there's lots of community support available if you get stuck. You can use Joomla to run an e-commerce store as there are extensions available for this. Then for the cons of Joomla, even Joomla fans will admit it can be pretty complex depending on what you want to do with it. You may well need to hire a developer to help out. There aren't that many options for additional extensions if you're used to a CMS like WordPress, which has thousands of available themes and plugins that extend the core functionality. You might be disappointed with Joomla. There can be some compatibility issues if you have a lot of different extensions and modules installed. Then for the pricing, Joomla itself is free, though you'll need to pay for a domain name and web hosting that supports Joomla. Like SiteGround is a good option here, as they have specific Joomla hosting plans with lots of handy features. You may find yourself paying for some extensions to add more functionality to your website. You might even want to budget for getting help from a developer depending on what you're trying to achieve. So here is the minimum hardware and software specs for Joomla CMS. It requires 2 GB of RAM and 1.0 GHz of processor and PHP 3.10, MySQL 23.x or above, then Apache 3 or above. You can download the PHP MySQL Apache server through the link provided in the screen. Then for our next CMS, which is Drupal. Drupal is another open source CMS platform. It's the CMS behind some major websites, including The Economist's site and a number of university sites. Drupal is a good option for developers or for people able to hire a developer. It's especially good if you're aiming to build a highly customized site that needs to handle a lot of data. You can host Drupal site on SiteGround. They offer installation and can even help you transfer an existing Drupal site. Then for the pros of Drupal, first, it's easy to add content on Drupal. The custom content types are flexible and offer plenty of options. There are lots of different modules available that you can add to your site. These work like WordPress plugins. Then support is available by company support options similar to the popular platforms like Joomla and WordPress. And lastly, user management is easy with a built-in system where you can create new rules and specify their permissions. Then for the cons, with Drupal, it can be tricky to figure out how to change the appearance of your site and add extras. It's definitely not as beginner friendly as WordPress. Most Drupal websites have a heavily customized theme created by a developer, which can be very expensive. Then for the software and hardware requirements, as you can see in the screen, these are the minimum hardware and software requirements. Then two elements of CMS. There are two elements: content management application and content delivery application. So here are the well-known CMS today. First, we have Joomla, Drupal, WordPress, Cake PHP, Mambo, Zencart, and Bootstrap. So how CMS work? Basic information flow. Template is designed, and second, content is entered as plain text or HTML into database. Content is placed in template for display to end user. So in our next slide, we have here the life cycle of CMS. Functionality of CMS broken down into content creation, content management, publishing, and lastly, presentation. Why this is a good thing? It puts use in control, don't have to be expertise. Why to learn HTML when CMS are available? Large-scale changes can be made to site much easier. Structured content and content reuse. Security control saves money and time. Open source, so it is a win-win condition for user. So in my last slide, there is no one size fits all solution. By allocating sufficient time and resources, we can have best possible solution. Take time to determine requirements and select accordingly.